Om Tabakatamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhuridayanaha. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings spiritual welfare in life. The spiritual beauty, prosperity and grace spreads through and through one who listens to your holy message. They are the real givers in the world who preach and pronounce the nectar of your message to the suffering humanity. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So this is Ramakrishna, Gospel of Ramakrishna. We are on page 812. Ramakrishna went into Calcutta in the Balaram's home in the to attend the car festival. And in there he was conversing with the devotees. And then it is in the middle of the discussion. Last time Sri Ramakrishna talked about samadhi. Generally speaking, there are two kinds of samadhi. First, sthira or jada samadhi. One attains it by following the path of knowledge as a result of the destruction of the ego through reasoning. And second is a bhava samadhi. One attains this by following the path of bhakti. In this second samadhi, a trace of ego remains like a line in order to enable the devotee to enjoy God, to taste His Leela. But one cannot understand all this if one is attached to lust and greed. So, Sri Ramakrishna just in one stroke takes us to a different plane. Jnani have samadhi, bhakta will have samadhi. Not two experiences different. One is merging, the ego totally merging in that truth. Jnani, not this, not this, not this, not this. And the last trace, that is I, that is also dissolved. When there is no mind, there is no ego, there is no intellect functioning, then who can say what is what? That's why it is called avang manasa gocharam. And then Sri Ramakrishna says it's called this sthira samadhi, jada. They become like a inert stone, piece of stone, just block of wood, as its stump of wood. Ramakrishna stayed in this state 6 months. In the history, we never heard a person can live in that condition. The birds used to come and sit on his head to find some grains of rice or something. And that time Sri Ramakrishna said, a holy man came from where, who knows. He understood that this is the state, very high state, and with this body there will be great work will be done, inspired by inner feeling. He served Ramakrishna. How? He used to keep some ball of rice or something ready and beat him sometime, beat. And then little body consciousness just is coming, and then he used to push that ball of rice or something, food, into the mouth. That is the way Ramakrishna survived 6 months in sthira samadhi, a jada samadhi, inertness. So it is, outwardly it is dead, outwardly it is like a piece of stuff, has no consciousness, no awareness. Sri Ramakrishna said in another place, snake will crawl over the body, but that will not have any sensation. So what type of depth of the consciousness has gone inward into the inner consciousness? And then, what about the bhaktas? Bhaktas want to love God and keep a little separation, little ego. To taste, that's why Ramakrishna said, I want to taste sugar, not to be sugar. Because being means this sthira, jada. Enjoyer, enjoyable, seer, seen, experiencer, experienced. All these dual words is totally absent there. A state of perfect oneness, the perfect absolute peace. What is that? That is that. We see from outside the body is there, but for him inside, his last is of pure ego, pakami. Ours is unripe ego, kacha. And Ramakrishna is paka. Paka means ripened. Pure, almost, this side is infinite joy, and this side is standing, and it is on the brink like that, standing. But there is a separation. That's the pakami. But that also breaks. Ramakrishna used to go to Samadhi, then he prayed to Mother, Ma, don't make me totally unconscious. I want to enjoy bhakti, bhakta, devotion and devotees. That's why he used to live in the great master. That we find the divine play. There we find that it is this state called the bhava mukha. Swami Sarvadevananda have discussed this issue quite a length of time because we don't understand this state of existence. What is that? With our limited mind, this impure mind, how much we polish. These are only intellectual understanding about. But it is good at least to understand intellectually. There is a place where one can just stand on the brink of dissolving. Just going to dissolve, but still a little bit pull out. And that is only people like Ramakrishna can do. Ordinary sadhakas cannot do that. They say if they go so close, like a magnet mountain, will you just take the iron filing, suck. He has no power to restrain that time. It is sucked into that truth. So that is the sthira samadhi, and this is called the bhava samadhi. Ramakrishna used this beautiful term, jnana and bhakta. Jnani and bhakta, they are not going to two different destinations. But the destination is experienced with little ego and dissolving the ego. Total dissolution of the ego. And they are in such a high plight that to bring him back to the consciousness, Ramakrishna said, when he used to say, I want to drink water, he said, I have to come down 10 cubic down. In the spiritual plane, what is 10 cubic, we have no idea, no? Here to here. How many cubit height, God knows. Here to here. Sahasrara, 7th plane, 6th plane, 7th plane. So 6th plane to 7th plane, to keep someone arresting there, to stand there, only avatars can do that. Ordinary people have no power, no control over them. So this is the condition Sri Ramakrishna talked. But it is not possible, he says. The second samadhi, a trace of ego remains, like a line, in order to enable the devotees to enjoy God, to taste his lila, divine play. But one cannot understand all this if one is attached to lust and greed, lust and gold. No? That is the purity of the heart is necessary. Spirituality, follow the jnana path, follow the bhakti path, follow the yoga path, Follow the karma path. All are leading. Foundation is to purify. What is the karma yoga ideal? Chitta Shuddhi, the purification of the heart. Meditation, what is the purpose? Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta is a very beautiful term. That means purification in every level of our understanding. Intellectual level, mental level, emotional level, ego level, all this memory level. Chitta is mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Chitta is a technical term. In yoga, chitta vritti nirodha. Normally we say it is a mind. But we split into details, then we find these 4 levels. Mana, mind, buddhi, determinative faculty, memory, past memories, and ego. All these layers will be purified. That's why it is called to chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean. So that is the prayer, Chaitanya's prayer we every day try to practice, no? What is that? Clean. Whole spiritual life is cleansing. Divinity is here and now. I am pure, I am absolutely perfect and stainless. But all problem is that clouded mind, clouded ego, clouded understanding, clouded memory. We live in our memory. How many people live in God's memory? How many people live in this, what has happened yesterday? And who has told me this way? Who was looking at me with a frowning eyes? Who bent his face like this? Bas, my whole day goes on in the memory of that. Who thinks of God day and night? Who lives in the memory of God? So that's why we take care of any side, this purification. Sun we need not have to bring out. To remove the cloud is the question. That cloud comes, cloud goes. That's why it is called Maya. It comes and it goes. But you have to fan it if you want to have it now. The cloud will remain. And after experience, then let the cloud come. Then you see beauty in the cloud. If it is not more beautiful rather than sun itself. When the cloud is there and the rays, beams of light comes around or in between, no? It's a wonderful artistic creation of God, no? Then you can enjoy. That's the whole world is all enjoyable after coming down from that level. But from this life, it's all darkness. Nothing is available. So chittasya shuddhaya karma. For chitta shuddhi karma, Shankaracharya says. He keeps one step up. First you purify your mind, then will come the knowledge. But anyhow, these are very fine distinction. Like you take 20 petals of what you call the rose petals and take a pin and strike it. You see that you strike it and it goes in the other side. Does it go in split second? No, it penetrated every petal. No? We do not know, it passes so fast. But avatars can understand each petal and stay there and experience there and enjoy there. So, Chitta Shuddhi is the goal fixed for us to purify this petty I, this little I, that egocentric I, to the pure I. I am a child of God. I am pure. I am stainless. Whatever idea to think of the purity, that is the practice. I said to Kedar, Ramakrishna continues, you will never succeed in your mind if your mind dwells on lust and gold. I wanted to pass my hand over his chest, but I could not. He has knots and twists inside. Our minds are also knots and twists. Not straight. That's why you know how we behave. You say something straight, our mind teaches us, no, you said this with this meaning, you thought this way, you mean this way, you mean this way. So, straight thing is very difficult. Even I have heard from our sadhus used to say that English, in any language, simple sentence is very difficult to compose. Those who can compose simple sentences, whole writing, they are great, actually skillful people in the language. No. Complex sentence we know. Compound sentence, it starts in paragraph there and ends in the whole page end. You can make it. And when, this, that, semicolon, comma, dash, we can, but go on. But to compose simple sentence is really difficult. Because simple is very difficult. That's why Ramakrishna's mother used to call her, she was a simple lady. Guileless, we call guileless. That guileless, that's why, you see, guileless, we didn't hear that Ramakrishna's mother was steeped in meditation for 20 hours a day. No, she is just a mother, taking care of the household and doing it. But his heart was so simple. She could see in her own eyes gods and goddesses coming. He said, mother said, she said that one day my son has gone for performing the worship in some home, in some distant village. And it is noon, almost noon over. So he's not coming back. So she was restlessly going back and to see whether the son is coming, Ramakrishna's elder brother, Ramkumar. And he found that not coming. So she got frustrated. And she saw one god who is riding on the swan, Hase Chora Thakur. That god, divine, which is subtle eyes can see only. Gods and goddesses are seen not this through these eyes, no? It needs a purer eye. These eyes will be there, but it does not allow us to see the divine form of Kali, Durga, Shiva, Rama, Krishna. That's why it's called mystic vision. But this lady, Ramakrishna's mother, saw one god, he's riding on a swan and coming, appeared before her. And she said, oh, instead of asking, hey, I am blessed that I saw your vision now. He said, oh, where do you come from? And she continued to say like a innocent lady, my son has gone for performing some worship in some home. He's not back. Did you see my son? I said, where this swan is, the godly form of some divine entity is coming. And where is his son, her son? No concern. And then he says, yes, I saw him. He will come soon. And that image merged into the, ended, just disappeared after crossing her. So you can see with his eyes open, she is seeing the divine forms, which people do. Yogis are trying hard to master the mind and control and see the divine, no? So what a level of their purified mind. That's why the God of the world, Lord of the world was born in her womb, no? She is standing before this Shiva temple and suddenly saw the beam of light coming from Shiva, and the Shiva's light engulfed the whole inner sanctum and sanctorium of that Shiva temple, and that beam of light falling into her, and something is entering. My God, where did you get it? We are meditating for how many years? 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? I am doing this how much? 60. And now it is 2020. How much? 70, 80, 90, 2010, 20. 60 some years. Hare Baba, let some glimpse of light come. You know, But you see, Ramakrishna's mother, she's a household wife, no? Apparently, we don't see anything but the guilelessness, simplicity. And there God reveals, no? That means all the mind is so pure. No cloud, no confusion, no ego, no cravings, no desire, earthly desire. They live in the world, but not of the world. So, purity of heart, simplicity of the heart, actually brings God vision. So that's why she has so much experiences, no? So, Ramakrishna is warning that, that Kedar, I told that it is your mind dwells on lust and gold. It is, he is indicating all of us. Mind goes for how many things? It goes for name, I am a good speaker, I give a good class. Oh, what? No? How much things can go on subtle way, very difficult to hold. I am such and such person in the society. What? They can tell things about me like that. Ego, or all the angularities of the mind, that is covering the vision of God. So they said, you will never succeed. It's a very strong word, you will never succeed. If, only condition, if your mind dwells on these mundane things of the world. I wanted to pass my hand, and Ramakrishna said, I wanted to touch him. But I could not. He has knots and twists inside. That's why Upanishad says, Vedante hridaya granthi chiddante sarva sangsaya tasmin drishte paravare. When one can see the tasmin, that one which is para, the supreme, and that which is from the lowest to the highest, that all the knots and twists of the heart are all caught asunder, and it is untied by only seeing that supreme reality. But how to see that supreme reality unless the mind is pure? That means so long the knots of heart is there is no hope for God realization. So, and this is the very important point. We do sadhana, we do japa, we do Vedanta, we talk big things, but we don't pay attention. It is knots here. Knots and bondage where? It is in my ego, in my wrong analysis. And this is the thing to be unlessed. This part is to be worked upon. Ramakrishna is trying to touch us. He is sitting here. But probably his leg is in pain, getting a sting of scorpion biting. Because the mind is not clean. And the poor guy is sitting over here. What a torture on upon him. No, if you feel like that, Sri Rama, giving an example. I wanted to touch the Kedars, to awaken some divine consciousness, but I could not. Because in his heart there is knots and twists. It is like a room, it was like a room smelling of filth, which I could not enter. Very important word. He wants to enter, but he could not. We blame, oh, I am calling upon the Sri Ramakrishna, I am doing so much japa, he is not listening to me. Don't say that. He is always, his one leg is inside. He is trying to come in. But when he touches, he recoils. It is not his fault, because he cannot take the unholy touch. He is so pure, and God is pure. Blessed are the pure in heart. So that's why, see, the knots and this bondage, these are the cause of her all bondage. You have to pay attention to that. And we can remember he is telling me. If we can use this language, that he is talking to not Kedar. Kedar is only an example. He is pointing out or that I want to enter into your heart. But how can I go? You made it is a filthy land. Smell, bad smell. And all this your negative thinking, holding on, attachment, ego, pride, all these things, subtle way it is working. We are improving maybe, yes. Certainly we are improving, but we have to pay attention to this. Why God realization is not happening? Why I don't have the spiritual inspiration and experience? No one's fault. That's why it is said, where is time to think of others' problems? What the other people is doing, people spend whole day to correct the whole world. He is doing like this, she is doing like that, and this is this. And what is happening here? Another twist. Another twist, another knot. Untie that, untie that, untie that. I have no time to see anywhere. If I see here, where is my time for doing anything else? So this is called, to invoke Ramakrishna. When Guru gives us mantra, Guru sets us, puts us. It's called, from today onward, the Lord of the world is established in your heart. Yes, He is established into the heart. But He cannot come in a filthy area. You have to, that's why Ramakrishna, in one place is there was one gentleman, his name was Podo. And one day, there was a dilapidated temple. And the dilapidated temple was full of what you call the droppings of the rats and bats. Bat smell. You have no idea what is bat droppings. If they fall on, how dirty it becomes. So in the village, that was a deserted temple. So knows that there is no deity, there is nothing. But one day, the Podo, the gentleman, he took a conch shell and started blowing the conch shell. As we do for conch shell blowing, meaning the puja is started. When you start the puja, means everything is ready, clean, the Lord is established, and he blowing the conch, and all the villagers suddenly thought, what has happened? They all ran and said, oh my God, it's the same dirty, filthy rat full of temple, and no deity is there. Then the Ramakrishna said, Mundire tor naiko madhav. In the temple there is no Madhava, means your Krishna. There is no Lord in your temple here. And Shakpuke, you are blowing a conch shell, hello, come here. You have created all goal, all trouble. Shakpuke tui korli gol. Gol means gondogol. Trouble. You created trouble by calling people all over, come. I am a spiritual person, here is God. Don't blow the conch shell. First clean the pot. That's a cleaning of the mind. Entire spirituality is cleaning. That's why everyday puja, the worship time, we start with Om Vishnu, Om Vishnu, Om Vishnu. Why do you say Om Vishnu? Because Vishnu is the Lord, name of the Lord, who is all pervaded. And thinking of Vishnu, you think that it is all pervaded cosmic reality, and your other thoughts will go away. So this is the process of purification, is our spiritual life. We have to pay attention to that. And Sri Ramakrishna saying, it was like a room smelling of filth, which I could not enter. I wanted to enter. He wanted to touch the chest of Kedar. But he said, I cannot do that. So his attachment to the world is very deep. It is like a natural emblem of Lord Shiva, whose root spreads as far as Benares. One will never succeed if one is attached to the world, to lust and gold. See, whenever we find many religion, easy religion, People flock there, thousands. And you see, in our class, 5-7 people come over here. Because this is not a good food for. You should have some spicy food with little chutney. Tasteful. With a little touch of the sensuality and others. Then people will go with $1,000 ticket to get one class, one seminar. $5,000, no? People will rush. There is a statement, Go ras gali gali fire, sura baithala bikai. That is saying, Tulsidas said, Sura means wine, liquor. Sura baithala bikai. In Indian context, he is talking about Tulsidas's time. It was considered very bad that someone is drinking liquor. No? It cannot be very bad in Indian context. And he said that, though it is prohibited by the society, though it is hidden, they sell it in a hidden area. You have to know which corner, which lane, by lane you have to go and sneak it there and get little something or drink something and come back. No? But people know that address and go and purchase that. Whereas the milkman who brings very fresh milk, just milk from the cow, and come to your door, hey, milk is available, 1 pound will be 4 annas or something. No one comes to purchase the milk. That means a healthy food, spiritual food. You go door to door, say, hey, come, this is for spiritual growth, this is for joy, this is for bliss, eternal bliss. No one listens. But anything of the world of attachment, which is very sensate something, now there is a high demand on that. No? And if it is not available, they will make it available. Even selling their property, they will do all these things. So this is the point. This is human weakness, no? Because it is, the Upanishad says, no? That whatever is, but it is not our fault. The mechanism has been created like that. Katha Upanishad says, Paranchi khani bhatrinat sayambhu tasmat parang pashyati nantaratman. Paranchi khani bhatrinat sayambhu. Sayambhu, the Lord, when He created us, He created this khani means senses. The eyes, ear, nose, tongue, touch, no? All outside. So, tasman parang pashyati. God has designed the body like this. That's why we always focus outside. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. There is more beauty here. But my eyes go there, oh, this is beautiful. And it is not beautiful. Today is beautiful, and tomorrow it will be dry. Today, beautiful bouquet of flower. Tomorrow it will be dry and you have to throw away. Today is something charming. You see, tomorrow it is becoming worst. It is spoiled. So, through the eyes, through the ear, through the nose, through the touch, through the tongue. Tongue world is the whole world, no? Go. How many cuisines are there? How many restaurants are there in LA, here, in Hollywood, around? So, these are the, because we are bound to have it, because senses have been designed to test the outside world, whatever we see, feel, hear, like that. Tasmat parang pashyati. Therefore, we all see the outside. Na antaratman. Just nowadays, selfie. We always take the picture outside. Click, 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 click. And now, modern technology has said, hey, you can take also selfie. So turn this way. So this is a turning point of life, to look inside rather than this way. So, but we are bound to do that because God's plan, He wants us to make a play and fun. But one who understands that this play does not suit me anymore, enough I have done, it is boring. Swami Vivekananda says, I am tired of this. Mother, break my chain, no? What is the language? I am tired, thy tired son. I am tired of seeing all this. This horrible way, this bubble, this world full of void, is bubbling. Exactly, I forgot the language. Beautiful words. This is hollow world, it's hollow everything. I am tired of this. Oh mother, open thy door. No? It's open here. So that is the turning point, and that's called spirituality. So this is to understand that God is always willing to enter into our heart, but our door is closed most of the time. And even if it is closed, above all, it is dirty, it is dark, ignorance, anger, pride, false identity, sense of identity. These are all hindrance in the path of spiritual wisdom and experience. So we have to work on that. Don't blame God. He comes, as Ramakrishna said, if anyone moves towards him one step, he comes how much? 10 steps, some say 100 steps. But that does not meet the distance, because I don't do even one step. So we have to be watchful, and that's why the youngsters are yet untouched by lust and gold. That is why I love them so dearly. When the young boys come and girls come, we also feel very much attracted to them. No? Not because of their youth. Sri Ramakrishna, because of their purity, they have not entered into the world and not get contaminated much. If they like, they can dedicate it for higher purpose, for the realization of the infinite bliss, they can dedicate it. So that's why Ramakrishna said, I love these young people. But Hajra don't understand. Hajra always thinks money-centered mind. He has great loan to repay. That's why he sees through his own lens. Sri Ramakrishna loves these young boys. So, oh, you love this because this boy, Vivekananda Naren, is very lovely looking. A curly hair, you love that. And Ramakrishna said, I see Narayana, I see God. That's why I love them. Hajra says to me, you love a boy if he comes from a wealthy family or if he is handsome. See? We project our mind for every holy person. If Ramakrishna has no escape, what the question of ordinary people? If you look towards somebody once or twice, oh, you love him because you're looking 2 times. What is in your mind you can think, but what is the other's mind, how do you do it? And Ramakrishna is being misjudged by Hajra to that extent, and he has the courage to say to Ramakrishna that you love the boys who are coming from rich family because they are moneyed man, because he has the demand of money. So he considers the world in the same scale. The Ramakrishna's mind is, because Naren comes from a rich family, or Rakhal is a landlord's family, so you love them more, but you don't love that much the others. And another, he's handsome. See how worldly is the attitude. If that is so, then why do I love Harish, Latu and Narendra? Latu is the poorest guy. He was a slave or servant. Slave means servant in those days. Mom passed away, dad passed away, uncle raised him, and he came to Calcutta. How he will survive? So he got a job in a servant's job in Ramchandra Datta's house. And Ramchandra Datta brought one day to Ramakrishna, not for him, but to carry his material to Dakshineshwar. And there they met, Ramakrishna met. And why not? This Latu has nothing, no material wealth, no money, nothing. But why I love him? Because he is a pure soul. So that is the point Ramakrishna said, that Naren has not a penny. He was a rich son, rich man's son, but because of father's passing, so Naren has not a penny to buy salt to season his rice. Such is the poor condition of Naren. Why do I love him? Because you think that he is rich, he is moneyed, or he is handsome. Anyhow, the youngsters' mind are not yet colored by worldliness. That is why they are so pure in heart. Besides, many of them are eternally perfect. They have been drawn to God from their very birth. It is like a garden in which, while cleaning it, you suddenly discover water pipes. The water gushes forth without any effort on your part. It's like a spring. Ramakrishna gave the example that you suddenly there is a stone covering the mouth of the spring, and suddenly it is removed and water gushes. These young boys, like all the 16 disciples, they are like pure souls. Spiritual, the spirituality as if gushing out of their personality. And they can retain. The main thing is that the instructions cannot be retained unless the mind is pure. Any instruction you give, it will not hold. It will leak out. As Ramakrishna said, different holes are there. People are, he gave the example, in the field, someone is pulling the water in, and at the end of the day, they find that there is no water, no accumulation of water, because all the water drains out, leaks out. So this is the leakage. Balaram, sir, how was it possible for Purna to know all of a sudden that the world is illusory? He's talking of the young boy Purna, and he's reminding Balaram, the great devotee, whose house Ramakrishna went there, which is the Calcutta office of Ramakrishna. More than 100 times Ramakrishna visited this Balaram's house. And after Ramakrishna's passing away, that was the only place for our earlier sadhus, Mahapurush Maharaj, Baburam Maharaj, Balaram, especially Brahmananda Swami, Turiyananda Swami. That was the only place where they could stay. Baranagar monastery, when it started, they moved out. But Balaram Bose's house was always, anyone falls sick, go to Balaram's house. You get little diet, little food, little doctor's benefit, because he is a rich man and he is kind to sadhus because Ramakrishna. So that was the center. So this Balaram, he is such a noble-hearted soul, so he can understand. He says, Purna, the young boy, how in that young age he is feeling that world is all illusory and not attached to the world. Master, he has inherited their knowledge from the previous births. That's the point. Where we find extraordinary devotion, extraordinary love, extraordinary simplicity, you know there is your good karma is behind. Otherwise, mind will not bend towards God. Never it will come. It will rather run in worldly direction. In his past lives, Sri Ramakrishna continues about Purna. He practiced many disciplines. Ramakrishna could see through. Ramakrishna used to say that I can see through the mind. I can read everything what is in the mind. This life, before life, other life. It is like a glass pen. Through the glass pen, you can see what is inside. So Ramakrishna, that's why he said, he has practiced many disciplines in his past lives. It is the body alone that is small or growing big, and not the Atman. We see he's a young boy, and I am 80 years old man. He may be advanced for me because he is this body of the physical, this age of the body is not the consideration of one's wisdom. Then the banyan tree lives for hundreds of years. So all the banyan trees will be Gyani, because they live longer. No, it is whose purity of the heart, how much one has practiced spiritual discipline, either this life or in other lives. That makes the distinction. Ramakrishna continues. Do you know what these youngsters are like? They are like certain plants that grow fruit first and then flowers. These devotees, first of all, have the vision of God. Next, they hear about His glories and attributes, and at last they are united with Him. That means they are all pure soul. They come for the good of humanity, to be one of the partner of the incarnation, avatar. They are special people. That's why Ramakrishna went to the seventh plane in the beyond all the range of gods and goddesses, no? And then he brought Vivekananda from there. They are all special people. They are already liberated. They are steeped in their samadhi, but they are kept that way. Whenever needed, they will call back. As in the war, what happens in US? When war starts, then we are called back, no? So you cannot escape. That time people try to escape, but no escape sometimes. So similarly, when God calls, hey, I am coming, you people come. That's why in Ramakrishna this time, he was Rama, he was Krishna, he was Christ. See, he has brought people from all previous incarnation. Some came from Christ, some came from Sri Chaitanya, some said he is a Rama. He came when Rama came. So when Krishna came, Swami Brahmananda with Krishna. So he collected Brahmananda from there. Then whom? What are? Sarat and Sarvadevananda and Ramakrishna, two of them. They belong to Jishu Krishna. Ramakrishna said Rishi Krishna. That means that Jesus Christ, collected from that group. Sri Chaitanya, Balaram, M. Like that. So they are not ordinary people. They are already liberated. They have only come to accomplish certain mission in this divine play of Ramakrishna in this current age. So that's why the devotees, first of all, have the vision of God. They got the vision of God. And next they hear about it. Like Ramakrishna. He had the vision and experience all finished. Then you see, one by one gurus are coming. No? Bhairavi Brahmani coming and giving the instruction, and she's following that, and within 2-3 days experience coming, experience after experience. No? Why? This is validation. That's it. There is a meaning, of course. That Ramakrishna's vision and experience is not mental hallucination. It is verified by the tradition. When Bhairavi says, practice this way, and then you reach the result. What he has already got, it is verification. Totapuri gave him the non-dual experience and teaching. He said, yes, within 3 days he got it. So it is validation. What experience came to Ramakrishna, validated. That's why it is like Shruti, Upanishad. Upanishadic truth is revalidated in the life of the experiencer. So similarly, these holy children of Ramakrishna came for about only, first they have God vision, and second they hear about it and His glories and attributes, and lastly, they, after finishing their job here, they unite back. That's why you find every Swami, all the 16 disciples, you read their last part, how they are giving up their body and how they are merging into their desired ideal. Look at Niranjan. He always keeps his accounts clear. He will be able to go whenever he hears the call. But one should look after one's mother as long as she is alive. I used to worship my mother with flowers and sandal paste. It is the mother of the universe who is embodied as our earthly mother. So she is giving a practical suggestion that so long our earthly mother is there, one should do as best service to her, because she is the embodiment of the Divine Mother. Sometimes that side is ignored. Of course, when there is a tremendous love for God, this responsibility is no responsibility. But those who have the idea of responsibility, then you'll have to perform this first. As long as you look after your own body, you must look after your mother too. Therefore I said to Hajra, he comes back to Hajra. Hajra does not obey his mother's needs and demands, no? Even does not go back to home in village. But here he is a great Jnani. He behaves like he is a great scholar and always running after people where he can get few dollars. When you have a cold, you procure black pepper, sugar, candy and salt. As long as you feel you must look after your body, you must look after your mother too. But it is quite different when you completely forget your body. That Ramakrishna, when he was completely forgetting and getting absorbed in God consciousness. So all due to where is mother? Where is wife, Sarada? What is the responsibility for the world? Who is brother? Who is mother? Nothing. He does not forget his own body, whether he is eating or not eating, day and night passing in a high spiritual emotion. So that is a different state. Then God Himself assumes your responsibility. Then you need not have to think who will take care of your mother, who will take care of your father. Many sadhus, I heard of many sadhus of our order who were hesitant to join in the order because maybe widow, mother, only one son. And financially they need the support of the son. But when that tremendous renunciation comes in the mind, they leave. And it was surprisingly seen that unknown people came forward and that mother was taken care of much more than the son could have taken care of. So that's a sincere thing. When really one goes for God, God takes responsibility. And then Gita suggests, no? That he who thinks of me unconditionally and surrenders to me, I take charge of it. Therefore, Mam eva saranangacha sarva bhavena bharata. Therefore, oh Arjuna, take refuge in me totally. I will take care of you. Yoga kshemang mahamaham. I will supply what is needed and I will protect what is already there. It is my responsibility. So these are assertions in the Bhagavad Gita. And here also Ramakrishna says that it is quite different when you completely forget your body, then God Himself assumes your responsibilities. A minor cannot look after himself, therefore a guardian is appointed for him. Chaitanya Dev, like a minor, could not look after himself. And at that time, what the question of his wife, what the question of the mother. Went on to Ganges to take a bath. Sri Ramakrishna was talking with the devotees in the small room in Balaram's house. Then Mahendra, Balaram, Tulasi, etc., Girish, other devotees were sitting in the floor. M returned from the Ganges. After saluting the master, he took a seat near him. Sri Ramakrishna is recounting the devotees, recounting to the devotees some of his own spiritual experiences. He is talking about his own visions. So in between then, we find that Balaram Bose's house is not far from the holy Ganga. It's walking distance. So he went to the Ganges, M, the writer, and then came back, again joined in the conversation. So in between, we do not know what Ramakrishna said, because no one is the noting. M went to the Ganges to bathe, and then he came back. Then Master started talking about the experience. What he said? Master, one day in the Kali temple, Halodhari and Nangta were reading Adhyatma Ramayana. Suddenly I had a vision of a river with woods on both sides. The trees and plants are green. Rama and Lakshmana were walking along wearing their swords. One day, in front of the kuti, I saw Arjuna's chariot. Sri Krishna was seated in it as the charioteer. I still remember another day, while listening to Kirtan at Kamarpukur, I saw Gaurango in front of me. So, we have nothing to say. These are statements of fact. His mystic vision he's seeing this. So, that means when the mind becomes, see here also. Swami Prabhupada said that he saw Mahuli Mother standing there. Ramakrishna standing in the corner. So you see, others are there, I don't see. It is seen in the pure heart. And when mind becomes pure, these are possible, these are the things. So Ramakrishna saying that I saw, while I was listening to Ramayana, Dhatma Ramayana, one day I found the Ganga river, and a vision of a river, not this river, but another mystic vision, one river and a deeply wooded area, and in that area they found that Rama and Lakshmana, they are walking, no? A living, vivid experience. Then he said, similarly, one day in this kuti, I saw Arjuna's chariot. How can Arjuna's chariot will come? We will say hallucination. You imagine something, mind imagines like that. But there is a difference between imagination and vision. What is the difference? Imagination leads to frustration afterwards. It does not change the life, but experience changes the life. After your experience, if the whole world comes with a sword in hand, you are wrong. You say, no, I am right. I saw. Ramakrishna said like that. So the spiritual experiences transforms the life. That person becomes changed. The ordinary person becomes divine person. So that is the change. Otherwise, mere seeing something, people get confused. And that is the thing that I have a vision. Vision will transform the life, purify the heart. Whenever you remember that, you will be uplifted. You will go into the mood of spiritual mood again. That is the experience side. Okay, so our time is over, so we can end here. I only ended one page, 813. And Ramakrishna's. That is the way I read. I don't go to finish it. I always like, let it be. One paragraph, two paragraphs sometimes. What is the use of finishing? You can think as much as you can. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Anything has come? So good, no question. Perfect. So tomorrow Swami Sattvayananda will be giving the Bhagavad Gita class at 7:30 here. So please join who are at home.